Greetings Earthlings! Today I have a video ready for you which is meant to help people improve at the game. So I have one gameplay of myself ready and I just want to show and explain to you why I do certain things, and I hope it can help you improve your own game. First of all, let me explain the class that I decided to use. I'm using the Orc that I recommended in my previous video as a primary, and I used the Renetti with Burst Fire as a secondary. But honestly, I don't really use my secondary very often, only ever if I run out of ammunition on my primary and have nothing else that I picked up before. For perks, I use EOD to just help myself stay alive and get my streaks. It's especially helpful considering the C4 and RPG spam going on right now. And as perk 2 and perk 3, I use Restock with Shrapnel. Restock just allows me to spam out my C4s very frequently and use stim shots after almost every single gunfight. Shrapnel just gives me 2 C4s. That just catches a lot of people by surprise, especially when they use EOD and one C4 just wouldn't kill. You can just throw a second one. That makes holding or capturing objectives just very easy, and you can check corners with C4 quite efficiently. Let's start with the actual gameplay. I am playing Deathmatch Domination on Hardhat. Deathmatch Domination is a little bit different from normal domination because kills actually count towards the score. This can make things a little bit different, but in the essence it's almost the same. And Hardhat, the map has influence on what I do in the beginning of a match. On Hardhat, as you can see, I'm just going to the starting flag in the beginning, and after that I rush towards the middle, just check if everything is alright, and just see that the enemies cannot take B. Because as you can see, my team wasn't really interested in capturing B, and if I were trying to actually take it on my own, I would probably just die by being overwhelmed by the enemies. So the best thing I could just do was hold it and make sure that nobody takes it. You will probably notice that I'm more on the passive side when holding this, but I do push occasionally. However, I back off the moment that I don't like the gunfight. The reason behind this is just that I don't want to die, because if I die, I will be out of the fight for a much longer time than if I had just healed up behind a wall or behind cover. Something that I will do a lot is pre-firing and pre-aiming in gunfights and throwing a lot of C4s, especially on this map. I just want to give myself every edge that I can, and the C4s, they are not just very good for killing, but also for information. You will maybe notice that I'm throwing the C4 into the same place multiple times, and I can just show you where it lands so you better understand why I'm throwing it right there. Let's fast forward to the next part of the gameplay where I feel there's something noteworthy. As you can see, my team was able to capture B, but at the same time they lost A. So what I want to do in this situation is I want to lock down the middle section of the map and just make sure that my teammates don't have to fight on two fronts, meaning they can just fully concentrate into one direction. But at the same time I can apply pressure towards A and make sure that people are trying to actually find and kill me, which will take a little bit of work off my teammates. And like with this kill just now, I'm throwing C4s for information mostly. So I was throwing the C4 over the wall just to see if anyone is trying to push, and if I didn't get a hit marker I would just turn around and look for enemies on the other side. But since I did get a hit marker, I knew someone was coming and I could set up. Also, the moment I saw someone standing on B, I of course immediately turned around and tried to kill him. This worked well on the first instance, on the second one, not so much. However, I could still get my VTOL up, so it's something. This general trend will just continue throughout the game, more or less. I will usually stick around the middle of the map and just make sure that my enemies don't really have the possibility to flank my teammates, while my teammates gain this exact ability, just through the map control. This can be done on many maps. On Hardhat it's a bit more straightforward in my opinion. You will just see how I pick people off at A, go over to help at B even though he was already killed, and just cut off someone from C. This clip basically shows the same thing again, however I feel like it emphasizes an earlier point, and that's stay alive. Because in this situation I was seeing 4 people on the B flag. I was able to shoot 2 of them before just having to back off, and as you can see I just want to either kill them or at the very least prevent them from really pushing anywhere from there. In the situation on A, I can see the flag being taken, but on the UAV sweep I can also see one guy waiting right next to the door. So what I did was holding an angle on the guy who was capturing the flag, and I was just waiting for him to actually capture it and walk away from it so I could shoot him. The one next to the door, I only had a C4 as a good option without any risk. Another thing to consider, when people are trying to pressure you, just don't give in and stay cool. It can be the little things that actually save your life. Like for example in this clip, I was using my stim shot way before the grenade exploded. This is just to time it so that the stim shot heals me up right the instant that the grenade actually hurts me. This is to minimize the time the enemy has to actually push me while having an advantage. Here I didn't quite know where the enemies were, so what I did was look at the map and determine what the most likely scenario was. And for me this was A, because that was just an area where none of my teammates were, that was just open space to me. So what I did was to check one of the pathways towards A, and I'm going to show you where my C4 actually landed. I didn't hit him because he was closer to A than I anticipated. My mistake on this end, but I think you get the idea. After seeing 2 of my teammates capture A, I was just standing on guard in case anyone was trying to push them. And after seeing both of them push to the left side of the crane, I threw my C4 into the same spot again just to make sure nobody is flanking them. I feel like this kill in the pipe showcases the value of movement into gunfights. You want to stay unpredictable, especially in choke points like this. What I did was just slide and pre-aim to give him as little time to react as possible, and it actually caught him off guard. But you can do other things as well, like jumping so you appear on the left instead of the right side, or you could just wait for him at a weird angle. One thing I haven't touched on yet, kill streaks. I personally use UAV, VTOL and Juggernaut. I use the Juggernaut as a tool for map control, because it just allows me to hold certain positions safely, and it just limits the positions and areas where enemies can go. The VTOL does something similar, but to a lesser extent. It just makes the outside a little bit more dangerous to opponents. The UAV is used for basic information about where the enemies are spawning and potentially where some people are hiding. If you like this video and you want to see more stuff like this, let me know in the comments. Until then, have a nice day.